In this exercise, we will discover a new feature, which is track camera. We will start with this video. This was taken using a handheld camera. And we will end up with this result. I'm gonna play it one more time. We are going to add a hologram here, a text on this wall, a graffiti on this wall, and another hologram here. I go to After Effects, right click, import file, exercise 19. I select all the files and click on import. I'm gonna select the video, drag and drop here. I create a composition based on this video, and what I'm gonna do now, I go to tracker, make sure the video is selected, and I'm gonna click on track camera. I click, I wait for some time. This will take about 2 minutes. Time remaining 2 minutes. And now the analyzing is done. I'm gonna move the playhead, and we can see many points all over the place. We call these track points. Placed all over the place. And when I move my cursor like this, I can see a target. I can place a target wherever I want. A target is composed of 3 track points, like this. I'm gonna go forward in the video, and I'm gonna choose a target here where I want the text to be, like this. I click, now I have a target. You see, it's made of 3 points. Now I'm gonna right click and click on create text and camera, but before that I'm gonna go to character. I'm gonna right click, I go to reset character to go back to the values by default. I'm gonna come here now, right click, create text and camera, and now as you see we have a text on the wall just like this, and it looks like it was painted on the wall and it belongs in the video. Here we see 2 new layers. We see the text layer here, and we see a 3D tracker camera. If I change the view from 1 view to 2 views, I'm gonna choose custom view 1. Now you can see our camera, how it's moving. So After Effects analyzed the whole video and recreated the movement of the camera in this video. It goes forward like this, and it also includes all the shaking because it's footage from a handheld camera, just like this. I'm gonna go back to 1 view. I'm gonna modify the text. I'll go to horizontal type tool. I'm gonna select the text. I'm gonna change the font. I'm gonna choose Arial. I'm gonna choose bold font style, and size I'm gonna choose 14. I think this is big enough, and I'm gonna go forward here. I'm gonna double click on the text, and I'm gonna write welcome like this. We can see it here. I'm gonna select the text. I'm gonna change the colors. I'm gonna use the eyedropper. I'm gonna take this blue color. I'm gonna go forward a little bit. Select the text, use the eyedropper. I'm gonna take this blue color for the fill, and for the stroke, I'm gonna use the eyedropper and take this brown color. I'm gonna make the stroke a little bit thinner. I'm gonna choose 0.5. And now I'm satisfied with the result. I'm gonna select the text one more time. And I'm gonna choose a lighter shade of blue. I'm gonna take it from here, like this. Now I think it looks better with this lighter shade. Now I'm gonna select the layer of the text, and using the gizmo here, I'm gonna move it a little bit. I'm gonna go back to selection tool, using the Y axis like this. I move it like this, and the Z axis, I move it like this. I think my text is a little bit big. I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna scale it down a little bit. I think 12 is big enough. Yes, I'm gonna take it a little bit up. I go to selection tool. I'm gonna take it a little bit up like this and move it on the Z value like this. Now I'm gonna play the video, and I think this looks good. Now we have our text on the wall. It looks very realistic. I can reduce the opacity of the text a little bit to make it more realistic, from 100% to, let's try 90%. Let's try 80%. Now it looks even more realistic. I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna add the graffiti now on this wall right here. I have to select one more time and select the effect here, 3D camera tracker, to see the track points one more time. Now I'm gonna select a target like this one, or I can manually select 3 points like this. I click and drag and select 3 points like this, and when I let go, I have a target like this. I can click away to deselect. I can also press shift and select 3 track points like this, and now I have a target. And I'm gonna right click, create solid. Now we have a solid on the wall placed like this. This is exactly what we wanted. What I'm gonna do now, I select the solid here, I right click and go to pre-compose. I have to select leave all attributes in video. This is very important, and click on OK. Now I'm gonna double click on this new pre-composition. I'm gonna select the solid and delete it like this. I go to project panel. I'm gonna select the graffiti image and drag and drop like this. I'm gonna scale it down, press S. I'm gonna scale it down like this to 60. Or maybe 50. Let's try 50. I think this is too much. I'm going back to 60. Place the image like this in the composition. If you want to make the pre-composition bigger, you can always right click here, composition settings, and make it bigger. If I want to change it to 1920, for example, the width, I can do that, but I'm not gonna do that. Control Z. I'm gonna leave it square like this, the same size of the solid. And now I'm gonna close this and go back to the video composition. I close this, and now we see our graffiti right here. I go to mode, blending mode here. If you don't see it, click on toggle switches / modes. And I'm gonna change this from normal to darken. Now we get the effect we wanted. I'm gonna move this on the Z axis like this. I'm gonna move the playhead like this. I'll move it on the Z axis like this. I'm gonna take it up a little bit like this. I think I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna press S and scale it down to 80. And I think this looks better like this. I'll place it right here. And now I think it looks good, and it looks very realistic. It looks like a real graffiti on the wall. I'm happy with the result. Now I'm gonna add a hologram right here. I'm gonna go back to video, click on the video layer, effects, controls. I select 3D camera tracker, and I'm gonna choose a target right here. Click like this, right click. I'm gonna add a solid, create solid like this. And now I'm gonna do the same thing, right click, pre-composition. But before that, I'm gonna rotate this solid like this on the X value and take it up here. I can rotate it on the Z axis like this, move it a little bit to the right like this using the X axis. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit like this. Of course, you can use the gizmo, or you can toggle this down, transform, and change the values here. You have X, Y, and Z value for the position and the rotation also. You can achieve the same results using these values or the gizmo, same thing. Now I'm gonna right click, recompose, leave all attributes in video. I'm not gonna change the name. I'm gonna click on OK. I'm gonna double click. I'm gonna delete this solid. I go to the project panel, and I'm gonna bring hologram 1, drag and drop like this, and I'm gonna place it like this. Make sure the earth is in the center of the pre-composition like this. Now I'm gonna go back to video, and now we have our video right here. I can play it like this. We go through the video and we continue. I'm gonna change the blending mode now from normal to add, and we get exactly the effect we wanted. I removed all the black. Now we are left with the hologram. We go through the hologram like this and we continue. I'm going to change the view to 2 views just to show you what's happening. We have the camera. It moves forward like this and then goes through the hologram and continues. I'm going to go back to 1 view. We are done with this one. I'm going to add another hologram right here. I go down here. I select the video, effects, 3D camera tracker. I'm going to choose this target right here. Right click, create solid. Now we have our solid. I select it. I'm going to rotate on the X value like this. Gonna take this up here. I'm gonna rotate on the Z value. I'm gonna move it a little bit to the left like this. I can move it on the Z value like this, a little bit forward, and I'm gonna leave it right here. Now I'm gonna right click, pre-compose, same thing, leave all attributes in video like this. Double click on the pre-composition, delete this solid, go to my project panel and bring a hologram tool, drag and drop just like this, put this energy ball in the center of the pre-composition like this, go back to video, and I'm gonna change the blending mode from normal to color dodge. Now let's see the result we get. I think this looks good. I'm gonna scale down this ball a little bit, press S, gonna scale it down to 80 like this. I think this looks better, and I'm gonna leave it like this, it a little bit on the Y axis. And now I'm gonna play the entire video. Now the exercise is finished. You go do the same and don't forget to save.